Hi everybody. Common strategies, or at least strategies that is not common. They're strategies that have shown a positive impact in protecting the life and the voices of defenders of rights. I divide, as you can see, the PowerPoint presentation. Um, um, I divide the strategies in three different levels, and at the internal level, I will start with the strategies that each organization or social movements design for their daily lives. At the internal level, the fact that the majority of the strategies were designed to protect individuals, and a lot of social movements, as you might know, and they're in close relationship with the communities, and they decide that the best way to protect defenders were creating collective strategies rather than individual strategies. And of course, the collective strategies include individual protocols. Their collective strategies involve the communities in which there are work in indigenous communities, Afro-descendant communities, in this case in Latin America, farmers communities, women, LGBTI communities. So they try to develop these strategies, including all these sectors, and know what are the important elements of these protocols, and so far there strategies that they have brought positive results in supporting defenders of rights, because everybody is coordinating. When some defenders of rights go to the field, when some defenders of rights are dealing with meetings with the government, doing advocacy. The other important thing, they create this strategy, design and implement plans for these strategies according to the context. So they need to be contextualized, and also make sure that these strategies are feasible to be implemented. Sometimes, and this is something that human rights defenders or defenders of rights usually comment, is that some strategies look very good and the design it seems like ideal, but there is no conditions to implement that. Also have also a key component, what they call, and when I say they need to be contextualized, they include a component in which the activists of the movement carry out an analysis of the context. What are the actors that are against the agendas of these organizations, of these movements, so they can map the actors as well. And this analysis of context, usually they carry out every 3 months or every 4 months. Level strategy is at the level of local allies, national allies, and international allies. And one of the things movements in Latin America have learned is that it's very important to build local networks of activists and defenders of rights that can support each other in issues about protection, denounce, and national or local advocacy, and also international advocacy, the actors, the leaders, the activists, but at the local level, because you can do international advocacy to protect the defenders of rights, but if the threat is in your city, is in your community, the network you need to create a network there. It's important to promote the dialogue of wisdom. They call that dialogues of wisdom, and in which activists and defenders of rights meet each other to share their strategies and tactics, especially when they're dealing with similar actors. either economic actors or political actors. Another component for is to monitor and register the situation of the defenders in your community, in your city, in your area. The other thing is the mobilization of funds to protect defenders' rights. It's very important to have the resources. At the beginning, I start talking with you to develop strategies. They can be feasible, they can be implemented, and in order to implement a lot of those strategies, you need resources for basic things like activists. They can have iPhones or equipment that they can communicate with each other. International organizations or local organizations with international or local funds in their own countries, and they create local funds. Like we create one fund in Colombia, for example, with the organization I was working before, AJWS, and Amnesty International. Both of us put resources and create a fund in a very violent area in which human rights defenders were a high risk. International, local organizations to mobilize those kind of resources. But there is a lot of international funds now. They can partner with you, and they also you can leverage resources from one international donor, for example, from Light Defenders or Urgent Action for Women. These are more the main actors, but there are a lot of other funders, solidarity funds. They can support you to mobilize resources at the local level first, and then at the national level, and also for you to carry out your work at the international level to protect human rights defenders in your country. Thank you.